Welcome to my nightmare. This run started with a simple question I asked myself. I pondered, how good are shields in Dark Souls 1 really? Because at the end of the day, if you ask someone what Dark Souls combat is, they'd probably mention telegraphed enemy attacks, committed player attacks, and rolling. But Dark Souls 1 also features a plethora of shields to choose from. And during my first ever playthrough, I used Havel's shield at the end to turn Manus into a super easy fight, which got me thinking, how good would shields be for the rest of the game? So this run started with me going, I'm gonna play Dark Souls and use a shield the whole time. But that wasn't very interesting on its own. I had to add some restrictions in order to make it more interesting. So let's go over the rules. First, no rolling or backstepping. However, blocking and parrying are allowed since they're related to shields. Second, I must have a shield in my hand at all times. I cannot two-hand a weapon. Third, whatever shield I had equipped after defeating a boss must be dropped and cannot be used again for the remainder of the run. I can swap shields at any time while fighting regular enemies and going from location to location, but whatever shield I have equipped when fighting a boss, I must keep equipped whenever fighting that boss, and after the boss is defeated, it must be dropped. If it's a shield you can get multiple of, all multiples I pick up must also be dropped and cannot be used. Can you tell me which of these rules made me want to scream the most? It wasn't the last one, I'll tell you that much. That one was kind of fun actually, because I got to plan out my route, collecting enough shields to defeat every boss. And the punishment for breaking any of these rules is to either die and not retrieve my souls, or simply use the dark sign. Either way, the run starts with the first important choice, the starting class. They all start with a different shield, but we choose Pyromancer because all the other starting shields can be easily obtained, either through simply picking them up or by purchasing them, whereas the cracked round shield only has a chance to drop off certain enemies. Quite early on, I accidentally backstep while exiting a menu in Dark Sign. Luckily, I had no souls at the time. Quite shortly after that, we accidentally roll trying to escape this enemy, and that's another Dark Sign for us. Things sure are going well already. Either way, we make it to the Asylum Demon, and he shouldn't give us too much trouble as long as we stay behind, and there's another accidental roll. Oh man, this is gonna take some getting used to. I then accidentally push in the left stick, which if you remember from last time, I had rebound to jump, which ended in a roll. I wasn't sure if this should count, but I decided on the fly that it did here, so I Dark Sign once again, and then I changed the bind back to B so I don't accidentally push in the left stick again. That may have been a mistake. We take on the Asylum Demon once again, and I untarget him whenever I need to get behind him quickly so that I don't accidentally roll. The first problem, of course, is now that we've defeated the Asylum Demon, we need to get rid of this shield. Unfortunately, we don't have one to replace our starting shield with right now, so we'll have to bend the rules for a moment and book it into the graveyard to pick up the Caduceus round shield, I don't know how you say that, and we then get trapped and die. I picked up the Zweihander, which I was considering using, but then remembered I don't have nearly enough strength to one-hand it. We start making our way through the Undead Burg, blocking and parrying our way to the merchant, where we purchase some firebombs that will be seen later and 3 of the shields he has. This asshole fucks me royally by opening this door on me and getting me stuck in this corner. Thanks a lot. I then finally remember I need to drop the cracked round shield. I hadn't been using it so it doesn't violate any rules. Also at this point I'd only had the idea that the shield would be banned, but I figured dropping it would help clear up my inventory and make it easier to remember which shields were banned. Anyway, I get a nice axe that I can equip off of this guy, and we continue making our way towards the first boss. I also didn't take the master key just to make things even more annoying on myself, so no fighting Havel yet. Anyway, we parry the hell out of the Black Knight, destroying him once and for all. We take on the Taurus Demon, getting the plunging attack and then doing the old back and forth strat, only going in for an attack after he attacks. We get very close to killing him, only for me to fat-ass finger the Y button and two-hand the axe, and I have the dark side. That was a bit annoying for me. I then decide to see if things will be easier and faster if I fight him on the roof. It was not. Not even close. I then tried to fight him on the bridge, but because I got him on the roof, he became hyper-aggressive. I then get wombo comboed on the way back. Oh man, I'm really feeling how painful not being able to roll is, and this early in the game too. Who knew taking away one of the features that arguably defines the series it's in would make the game more annoying to play? Either way, this time we play it safe and take down the Taurus Demon with little issue. I drop the Caduceus round shield and we move onwards towards the Undead Parish. I go for the Claymore because I know I'm gonna need to level up strength for some of these shields, and I like its moveset even one-handed. In fact, it's probably my favorite weapon in the game. We do get burned to a crisp in the process, but we do obtain it. I then beat myself for not grabbing the shortcut first and run my stupid ass all the way through the Undead Burg again. I kick the ladder and then go back for my souls. Luckily, I retrieve them with little issue. I go back to the merchant and purchase the last 3 shields I hadn't bought from him yet and grind out just enough souls to level up and be able to equip the Claymore. We make our way to the Undead Parish, killing the Black Knight on the way, parrying him quite easily. I try to run to the gate before it closes, but the hog says no and kills me. We make our way through these usual rooms, hiding behind our shield and being quite low on stamina most of the time. I own this stupid idiot and grab the Knight Shield, equipping it then and there. We upgrade our weapon to +2 and buy a Titanite shard. I decide to go naked because I was running really damn slow and I'd like at least a bit of mobility even if I can't roll. I kill this big guy, grab the shortcut, forget to give the Firekeeper soul, which I forget for quite a while actually, and then die to this magic guy and his 100 buffed undead assholes. I then die to him again, then accidentally roll on my next encounter in Dark Sign, and then finally kill him. That was tougher than it should have been. I free this stupid idiot, which maybe it was a good thing I didn't make it through the gate earlier because it allowed me to pick up the key to save him. I then go back to Firelink and kick his ass off, though I almost hit him too many times trying to kick him. I wish the kicking controls weren't so finicky. Anyway, despite being right next to the Firekeeper, I forget once again to give her the soul. Oopsie. Either way, it's time to take on the Bell Gargoyles. This fight is already annoying enough as is, but without being able to roll against not one but two enemies, it made for quite the experience. A horrible experience. Once the second one shows up, I have to look for small openings I get while fire covers a large area near the gargoyles. Luckily, my shield blocks their weapons damage, but the fire could be a bit of a problem. It's quite annoying trying to find an opening, and with a tiny pixel of health left and no Estus, I get brushed slightly by the fire and die. On my next attempt, I managed to get them both low, only to die when the camera flips me around, exposing my back to the flames of my demise. On my way back for another attempt, I get blocked by the army of undead and then backstabbed by the Balder Knight. What the fuck, man? On my next attempt, we get the first gargoyle pretty low due to him giving me easy to punish attacks before the second one even gets close to me. Unfortunately, I get hit by fire and then untarget the gargoyle when he jumps in the air because I didn't want a repeat of last time, only to end up turning my back on him and then he kills me with an attack the second he lands. I don't know what sick bastard thought making one of the first bosses you fight a duo boss was a good idea, but that's neither here nor there. For the next attempt, while blocking one gargoyle's melee attack and walking around the other's flame breath, I get knocked back off of the roof and die. Oh my god, I may lose it. I then decide to go the way of old school RPGs when met with a boss I cannot defeat. That's right, grinding levels. Or in this case, souls. I go to the easy grinding spot under that bridge and grind for a few minutes while listening to some Tyler the Creator. I don't use those souls for stats though, instead I upgrade my claymore to +5 by purchasing some Titanite shards, though I did have enough left for one strength up. We do huge damage to the first Bell Gargoyle, nearly killing it by the time the second one engages me. And then I play it safe, finding an opportunity to finish it off, and then kill the second stupid gargoyle, all while still listening to Tyler. Phew, it felt nice to be done with these two. I sure hope there isn't another duo later on that will give me similar or greater amount of trouble.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
We ring the bell, buy a purging stone just in case, drop the night shield, which I almost forgot to, and make our way to the Darkroot Basin, managing to kill this Black Knight with parrying while barely being able to see what the fuck is going on, and then grab my beloved Grass Crest shield. I'll have to make sure I don't accidentally keep it equipped during a boss fight later on, and then have to delete it. That way I can keep running around the world with it, but that wouldn't happen surely. I try to enter Havel's home, but realize I cannot without a key that you get after the Moonlight Butterfly, which I don't really want to fight right now because it would take too damn long. I go to see how hard the Hydra would be and then decide it's not worth it and die trying to escape. I go to the door leading to the lower Undead Burg and try to open it, only to realize I never grabbed the key from the other side of the gate. Oops. So I make my way there after a long journey, grab it, and make another long journey back to the door. We burn the dogs to a crisp as usual. We make sure to grab the target shield here, which I decide to equip for the Capra Demon, which I also decided to fight immediately without grabbing the shortcut to Firelink Shrine, which I kinda regret because I die instantly and have to run through a bunch of annoying enemies, whereas the run back from Firelink Shrine, while probably a greater distance, has very few enemies I actually feel the need to kill. In fact, I try to run past some enemies only to get super combo to blood loss and death. So I methodically take all the enemies out and run to Firelink Shrine, opening the shortcut on the way, remembering finally to upgrade my Estus flask as well. The second attempt goes much better. We kill the dogs, then go up the stairs over and over, either doing a plunging attack on him or stabbing him in the head if he chases us all the way up, and he goes down quite easily. We drop the target shield and make our way to the depths, killing the butcher and obtaining the large ember. We grab the spider shields, and then one-shot the giant rat with a plunging attack. Or so I thought! He was still barely alive and almost killed me, but luckily somehow he whiffed his second attack and we kill him. I grab the bonfire, decide to kill some slimes just in case, luckily getting a large Titanite shard off of one of the first slimes I killed, and head towards the gaping dragon. I then notice the stupid magic idiot and don't really want to have him attacking me while I fight the gaping dragon, so I quickly run over to his location and take him out after dealing with the big rats near him. I then engage the gaping dragon, immediately rolling out of instinct during his tail swipe, having a dark sign. Luckily I didn't have too many souls. I then slowly but surely, defeat him on my second attempt. What's the hardest part of fighting the gaping dragon? Trying to stay awake. Anyway, I make my way back to Firelink, take the elevator up, and head to Andre, upgrading my claymore to +6. then head over to the nest to return to the Undead Asylum. Luckily I can do this jump here without rolling at the end, so even if I was counting jump rolls as rolling, this one wouldn't count, and even if I did roll at the end, I wouldn't count it because this is like the only way to get to the Stray Demon, you know? I do make sure to grab the key first so I can get the Rusted Iron Ring, and upon landing I immediately get destroyed by the torch guys. But not willing to give up, I go again, carefully taking them out. I kill Oscar's stupid ass and take his nice shield, grab the Rusted Iron Ring, decide the leather shield will be my shield against the Stray Demon, and take him on. I get squished like a damn bug though. I take him on again, only to accidentally roll and have to Dark Sign. I wasn't doing very much damage to him and decided to leave, making sure I reserved the leather shield for whenever I take him on next. I then get knocked off the cliff by this stupid asshole and realize I didn't rest at the Firelink Shrine bonfire. Almost die falling off the cliff upon my return and head to the Valley of Drakes through Darkroot Basin, in order to take the back entrance to Blighttown because screw going through it normally. I grab the Dragon Crest shield, accidentally roll trying to escape the undead dragon who kills me anyway, meaning I cannot retrieve my souls, and then run past him. I grab the key to New Londo Ruins and hatch a brilliant idea to rest at the Firelink Shrine bonfire so that I can immediately homeward bone back after killing Quelaag. It was quite the tense plan, and after a close call with the explosion, I actually managed to kill Quelaag on my first attempt. She's not too difficult as long as you stay really close to her sides, her sword swings won't touch you, and then you just run away from her other attacks. I drop the spider shield and then I rest at the bonfire below her because I wanted to level up, ruining my brilliant plan. Oh well. I decide to then kill the Ceaseless Discharge while I'm here, which shouldn't be too difficult. I can just do the quick kill. Oh no, he got me. Well, that's fine. I'll just wait at the entrance for him and he blasted me. Maybe I can stand behind this pillar. No? Wait, are you telling me I can't do the easy kill anymore? Well, maybe we can just fight him normally. Yep, not happening. At this point, I look up if there's a way to get the easy kill anymore and discover that if you die on the first encounter with him, he won't do the leap anymore. Unless you run all the way back to the shrine where you picked up the clothes, and then all the way back to the entrance. All while trying not to die again. I steeled myself and decided to attempt this. And it wasn't actually too hard, thankfully, and we kill his stupid ass. We then unfortunately have to run all the way back to Firelink Shrine from here, which sucked but wasn't too bad. I head over to Andre, upgrade my Claymore to +7, and buy some shields from him. Since I'm going to be heading to Anor Londo real soon, I decide now to take on the Stray Demon again, since I need to go back there and grab the doll anyway. The Stray Demon decides very coolly to immediately throw a blast at me and then jump away, shoot another blast at me, which I can't escape because his fat fucking leg is right next to a pillar and I get stuck, taking me down to nearly dead. And then he throws another blast, which I suppose the pure shock of the idea kills my character because this shit did not touch me, what the hell. Actually, it was good that I died so quickly because I forgot to equip the damn leather shield again and would have had a dark sign anyway, since it was reserved for the Stray Demon. I actually equipped the leather shield this time and take him on once again. I decided to pick up my souls because I didn't even get to hit the Stray Demon once while having the round shield equipped, so I saw no violation of the rules here. Or maybe I'm just looking for a loophole so I don't have to throw away 4,000 souls? That was probably the true answer. I'm not sure exactly what I thought at the time. I unfortunately die again, but we slowly and surely take him down, all while not targeting him to make running behind him easier. He has a lot of health and I kinda wish I was using a bleed weapon. Oh well, he's dead all the same. I then engaged the Black Knight only to realize I forgot to drop the leather shield and was using it against him, so I had a dark sign. Luckily I had decided to bone to the bonfire and level up before fighting him, so I didn't lose too many souls. We drop the leather shield and kill the Black Knight legit, and grab the doll and leave this shithole. This time I actually do fall to my death and have to take the egg trip again. I decide now is as good a time as any to kill the Moonlight Butterfly. I grab the Wolverine first, decide not to risk jumping, and just homeward bone, then run over to the Moonlight Butterfly. I almost forget to equip a different shield and immediately equip the large leather shield upon entering, almost dying in the process. It's a bit hard to avoid some of these attacks without rolling, but you can actually just walk out of the way of the homing ones I discovered, which felt quite nice to pull off. After a few minutes we take down the Moonlight Butterfly, drop the large leather shield, grab the key, and then absolutely destroy Havel. I almost feel bad for him. I then try to take on the Hydra, die, get to the last set on my second attempt, forget how close the pit is, die again, which annoyed me, then take him on again, realizing if I go in this corner, this annoying head will get close enough to hit. Then I kill the gold dude, and now the prerequisite for the DLC is complete and we head over to Sen's Funhouse. I end up dying to the first snake dudes, which is not a good sign. I carefully make my way through here and end up dying to this guy in this cramped ass hallway. I was kind of pissed because it took me a long time to get here. Oh well. I kindled the bonfire for a bit of extra Estus, try to run through here quickly only to get stuck on this guy and this table and accidentally double tap the B button, leading to a jump and a roll, which I decided counted as a roll and dark signed. We run through here with all haste, luckily managing to not get hit by the dude near the the narrow bridge and book it to the bonfire. I grind on this big dude until I have enough large shards to get to plus 10. I use some soul items in order to buy both shields from the Crestfallen Merchant, grab the cage key, open the shortcut, run to Andre, upgrade to plus 10, kill this big dude, and take on the Iron Giant, this time with a wooden shield. I try to knock him off, fail, and then get stomped to death. Oopsie. We go again, this time managing to actually knock him off. I believe that was my first time doing that, so I was pleased. I dropped the wooden shield and then decided to run back to Andre in order to repair my claymore because I was worried it would get close to breaking, which would never happen, of course, especially at a crucial moment. I also think to myself that I want to get enough Titanite chunks to get to plus 15 immediately by the time I get the next Ember, so I try to get some off these big guys, fail, and accidentally roll without having grabbed the Anor Londo bonfire like a damn big idiot, and have to run back through Sans Fortress again. I kill some more big guys, but to no avail. I only needed like 2 more Titanite chunks luckily, one which I knew I could grab near the giant blacksmith, and so I looked up where I could get another guaranteed one, and it said the giant that opened the gate to Sans Fortress, so I decided to go kill him. Unfortunately, I didn't really know what that meant and assumed it was this giant who I killed and got nothing, only to then Google where the hell this guy is and discover something I didn't know, which was pretty cool. Down here, up this ladder, through an invisible wall, up another ladder, and to the giant we go. This area looks pretty nice too, and a Titanite chunk in my pocket. I'll definitely be keeping this place in mind for future runs. Anyway, back to Anor Londo. We make our way through the rafters, making these idiots fall off and pushing one off ourselves. We get the Gargoyle shield off of this guy, which is pretty nice. Grab this bonfire, and grab another shield, and enter the painted world. We quickly run through here, only dying once to the stupid wheel idiots. Open the gate, accidentally jump roll like an idiot here because I was distracted by some music I was listening to. Then I dark sign, head over to Priscilla. We knock her out of her invisibility rather quickly and kill her. So sorry, beautiful. May your bare feet grace me another day. I get chased down by this asshole and he pulls off some sick ninja moves against me, killing me. We run to the archers that I hate and unfortunately fail to make him run off. Annoyed, I decided to punish him by parrying him and one-shotting his stupid ass. Vengeance for the pain he caused me my first playthrough. It really does look like I stabbed the Silver Knight in the cock and balls when reposting. That's gotta hurt. We grab Havel's armor and shield, both of which will get some important use in the run, and we do the cool stair skip and make our way to the giant blacksmith, grabbing the Titanite chunk, securing our path to a plus 15 claymore in the future. Now it's time to attempt Ornstein and Samo. This fight was horrible. Straight out of the gate we get destroyed by Ornstein. The second attempt goes a little better, but it's annoying trying to separate these two. And after getting a hit off on Ornstein, Smo tosses us up into the air, and Ornstein finishes us off. This is where I truly started to regret the no rolling rule. But this run would be kind of pointless without it since it's all about how good shields are, so I soldier on. Luckily our shield blocks damage very well, and I have no doubt that once we make it to phase 2 things will be easier. I get stuck in a corner and die again. It was frustrating. By this point I had decided to re-listen to Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, and the second song, For Free Interlude, was playing, which was kind of driving me insane. It's not exactly a song that pairs well with the frustrating gameplay that was happening, and my brain was melting. And it was really late at night too. For my 4th attempt I tried to recover my souls, only to be comboed to death by Ornstein immediately, at which point I alt F4 and go to bed. By the way, I decided that failing the skip on these stairs was the exception to the jumping roll rule, because I didn't want to do it the normal way, nor dark sign every time I failed to jump without rolling. Anyway, I return a few days later and attempt these bosses once again. After some consideration, I decided it would be best to kill Samo first. He's bigger and can block Ornstein from getting to me. Plus, buffed up Ornstein probably does less damage than buffed up Samo. So phase 2 would probably be easier shield only against Ornstein. This was a good idea, as we'll soon see. Already the attempt was going better, but I unfortunately run out of Estus and died to Ornstein's lightning beam. I kindled the bonfire and go in for another attempt. Unfortunately, Ornstein decided to be hyper aggressive, and I target off of him for a moment because I was concerned about Smo sneaking up on me, and Ornstein takes the opportunity to execute me. The next attempt goes very well. I block attacks when I can, and the extra Estus is a lifesaver, and down Smo goes. Now it's time to fight Big Ornstein. This was actually my first time fighting Big Ornstein, though I have seen him in YouTube videos before. This guy is kind of a chump. A lot of his attacks don't even hit me, and we can just stand next to his legs. He's a bit dangerous when he slams his butt, but if we block it, it doesn't do too much damage, and our shield blocks his melee attacks completely. With no Estus left and Ornstein one hit away from death, I whiff an attack as he jumps away and he does a lunge. But I don't have enough stamina to block it fully, so it goes through my shield and damages me greatly. I clench my asshole tightly and decide to be greedy, spamming my attack button as I get up, killing Ornstein once and for all. I felt so good after this. Ornstein is Smo defeated without rolling. Phew. I'm sure it's been done many times, but I sure felt good about it regardless. We talk to Booba Lady and get the Lord Vessel, place the Lord Vessel, finally remember to drop the Tower Knight shield. It had been a few days since I last played, so I kind of kept forgetting to drop the shield after killing the boss. Surely this forgetfulness won't bite me soon. Either way, down to New Londo Ruins we go. I grab the Firekeeper soul, get killed by the stupid ghost, and head back down, carefully killing the ghosts and recovering my souls. I make my way to outside the house with the guy on the roof. There are two exceptions to one of my rules, specifically the rule about needing a shield in one hand at all times. This is one of them because I wanted to shoot this guy with a bow to get the key so I wouldn't have to go through that dog shit ghost infested house to get to him. I'll let you guess what other time we equip the bow. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough dex to wield the bow effectively, so I said fuck it, let's try to run through here normally. Though I forget the exact route to get to him and the ghost swarm me and kill me. I use up all my souls to get some dex and try to retrieve the souls I dropped. Unfortunately, I die on the way and say fuck it, just fuck it all, and head to the catacombs. I kind of get lost in here, but eventually make my way to the pit and try to jump to the item, only to fail jumping and ended up rolling to my death. I somehow accidentally make my way to the Dark Moon Seance Ring, which I had nearly forgotten about. Good thing I grabbed it, as we'll need it soon, and then I die with nowhere to go. I forget how this shortcut goes and jump to my death, so I look it up. I thought I was doomed because the video I saw the person rolled to this ledge, but thankfully I can just walk off to it. If I had kept watching the video, I would have noticed the person jumping to the Leroy platform, but I didn't and ended up dying to the Black Knight. Then I watched the rest of the video, jumped to the Leroy platform, and took on Pinwheel. He was no problem, as expected. Vote now for what mask we got, and the last video was the Mask of the Mother. Surely won't be that again, right? Well, it was. I then forget the reason I came down here and used the souls I got to level up endurance. Oops, still can't equip that bow. I slap my forehead quite hard after slipping up like this. This run is just full of awesome moments. Speaking of, did you notice? It took me a moment to notice. That's right, I accidentally used the Grass Crest Shield to fight Pinwheel. Pinwheel of all bosses. I only realized many minutes later. This was probably one of the most tragic things that happened to me this run, losing the Grass Crest Shield like this. It wasn't helping me on the other bosses, sure, but running around and fighting normal enemies just became slightly more annoying. And long runbacks? Oh boy, they sure would be a hassle now. Well, moving on, I decided to grind some souls to level up dex at the usual dragon spot. I then hatched a brilliant plan to use this bonfire past the red dragon to grind even faster, but he disappeared? Oops, I didn't know that happened. I then snap my fingers and say, of course, I can go fight Gwendolyn now. So I head over to Andre, buy some arrows for later, and take on Gwendolyn. I wanted to use the Crest Shield as my go-to for all non-boss combat, but also forgot to take it off when I fought Gwendolyn, which I guess was okay since Gwendolyn shoots magic at me. Oh well, it certainly wasn't as big of a loss as the Grass Crest Shield was. I failed to move out of the way of Gwendolyn's arrows, which decimate me. The second attempt goes much better, and when I have him low enough that reaching him again will end him, I end up underestimating the speed of his magic and try to hide behind a wall too late, getting stun locked to death. The third attempt I play it safe and run at him with aggression, using heavy attacks to take him down even quicker. I then destroy the Anor Londo Firekeeper, upgrade my flask, remember to drop the Crest Shield. Oops, I fought the Firekeeper with it. I decided to keep my souls though, even though I broke my rules because I decided the Firekeeper was an extension of Gwendolyn since she only becomes aggressive after killing him. Is it cope to justify keeping 6,000 souls? Yes. Anyway, sniping time. Thanks for the key, idiot. We drain the water and then get executed by a Dark Wraith. I don't really want to bother going near him again, so I don't. I guess I ended up losing those souls anyway in the end, huh? I kill the Dark Wraiths and the blob thing near the very large ember, grab it and upgrade the claymore to plus 15. I then get concerned because I need to kill Sif in order to fight the Four Kings and I don't have enough souls to buy the crest, and I had just used all my regular souls earlier. Luckily, I remembered that Gwendolyn gave me a soul and I pop that to buy the crest and we head over to Sif. Though I have a bit of a crisis on the way. I count how many shields I have left and how many bosses are left, and realize I need 3 more shields to beat all the remaining bosses. I check a document I made showing the location and requirement for every shield in the game, and decide on the 3 I'm going to get. One being the giant shield from the blacksmith in Anor Londo, one being Sanctus from Leroy in the Tomb of Giants, and the last one being right here in Darkroot Garden, off of an NPC. I make these guys fall off a ledge, join the Covenant, immediately betray it, and kill this guy for his shield, though he did almost kill me with his stupid buddy. And then we head over to Sif. Sif is kind of annoying without being able to roll, especially when she starts backing up or jumping all over the place. Plus, some of her attacks do a ton of damage to my stamina. I ended up taking big damage. Not to mention, I decided not to use a very good shield, so I was taking a bit of damage anyway. Ay caramba. I get her to half health and die all the way in the back of the arena. Retrieve my souls will be risky business. I play it safe though, shielding and waiting for an opportunity to be near my souls, and while narrowly escaping attack, I run over and grab them. I get her pretty low, but she unfortunately kills me. I had no Estus left either, so I kindle the fire to max, which may be a bit overkill. I also decide to wear Havel's armor since I can't really keep up with her anyway, and just need to wait for her to get near me, and it should help my poise and damage reduction. Havel's armor actually worked wonders, allowing me to be very aggressive and take her down extremely quickly and easily. She also got stuck on these rocks and her attacks couldn't even hit me. Damn, I almost feel bad. I was really confused looking through my footage. I had headed over to the depths to try to buy the crystal shield so I wouldn't have to go to the giant in Anor Londo, but the merchant wasn't there, and then I had to take a dump, so to not waste disk space, I stopped recording. But I then forgot to hit record upon returning from my dump, and so footage of me fighting the Four Kings is lost. I killed them the usual way though, Havel's armor and just wailing on them. The first king I fought grabbed me a ton, which was annoying, but after that it was smooth sailing. Either way, time to make our way through my least favorite area, the Tomb of Giants. This place sucks. It's dark as fuck and the enemies are kind of annoying. This big skeleton kills my ass, so I decide to traverse the area in Havel's armor, which goes much better. We crawl our way to the bonfire, go into the pit to grab the skull lantern, only for me to realize I cannot use the skull lantern as a light in my right hand. So to keep the shield in hand at all times, rule active, I put a shield in my primary hand while holding the skull lantern in my offhand. I kill these stupid idiots and make my way to the next bonfire, dying to this Black Knight on the way. I forgot there was even a Black Knight in this area. I put on the elite armor instead to keep high poise, but to be able to run a little faster, and we make our way to the bonfire. I have to end up killing some guys while I'm there, nearly dying, but succeeding nonetheless. I make sure I'm human and go to take on Leroy, who dies quite easily, securing us the Sanctus shield, which I decide to use for Nito. I don't meet the requirements, which didn't seem to matter for blocking, and I still got the health regen anyway. We take on Nito. He grabs me, then ass blasts me to death. Oh god, I hate this run back. Our second attempt doesn't go much better. His attack that comes out of the ground was hard to dodge for me without being able to roll, and I actually ended up getting parried by a skeleton, leading to my death. Oh my. The next attempt I play a bit safer, making sure to run away from Nito into this nice area where the big skeletons aren't at. Even picking up some nice armor I forgot was here that I actually end up using later. Anyway, after some back and forth, some close calls, and being annoyed at my lack of a divine weapon, I take Nito down, while at low health myself. Now it's time for 3 not really great bosses in a row in these 2 pretty bad areas. First up is the Demon Fire Sage. I hate him and I hate this arena. But he was actually the only Asylum Demon clone that I first tried since I accidentally rolled on the Asylum Demon and had to Dark Sign. Funny how things work out. I didn't really want to use the Drag Crest shield on him, but I accidentally did and had to get rid of it. Damn, I love the Crest shields. Oh well. Next up is the Centipede Demon. I kill myself in lava because I didn't want to jump and didn't realize it did so much damage. I heal before crossing the lava a second time in my next attempt and then fight him in this area. He's really quite easy over here. Just stay under him, move away when he jumps, and bam, he's dead. If you guessed that the other exception to the shield in one hand at all times rule was the Bed of Chaos, you'd be correct. I am not fighting him normally, so bow plus firebomb it is. I did want to break through his sticks without rolling, but he kept blasting me at the entrance and I got scared and decided to just make Bed of Chaos exempt from all my rules and rolled to his ass and killed him. I did not want to die and have to end up trying to run at him normally. I'm sure you understand. This boss sucks, and he will always be exempt from any restrictions that would impede the quick kill method. Though I'm pretty sure I never ever want to do another challenge where rolling is banned because it was very painful to deal with throughout the entire run. Anyway, time for the Duke's Archives. We make sure to grab the broken pendant, get headshot by these archers again, just like last run. Is this going to be a tradition for me? And then head over to Seath. I realize I don't have a Ring of Sacrifice and I'd rather not lose my souls, so I decide to bone and spin my souls up before running to the wrong side for the lever and struggling to get back to Seath. We make it either way and we get sent to jail as usual. I ended up getting cursed. Thank goodness I bought that Purging Stone earlier. I sure hope I don't need another one when I fight Seath for real. Anyway, I pull the lever, get the key, open the shortcut, grab the other key, grab the Firekeeper's soul, upgrade my flask, and make my way through the Crystal Cave to Seath with only a little trouble. I accidentally jump and roll, and before I have a chance to even Dark Sign, Seath kills me. I ended up picking up my souls anyway because I wanted to cope and say that jumping actually didn't count even though I punished it multiple times already, just so I wouldn't lose my souls. But then I ended up dying and getting cursed. Perhaps that was the game punishing me for breaking my own rules. I then run over to New Londo Ruins, grab the Cursed Bite Ring, then kill myself, assuring that the souls I cheated to get would be unretrievable. Bought another Purging Stone, cured myself, and equipped the Paladin armor I got in Nito's room because it has the highest curse resistance. Was it overkill? Absolutely. Did it allow me to wail on Seath relentlessly until he died? Also yes. Now with that, the 4 lords are down. All that's left is the DLC and Gwyn. So we head straight to the DLC. I had been hard focusing strength as I wanted to reach 50 strength before fighting Manus in order to use Havel's shield cheese, and luckily I managed to make it. Anyway, first of the DLC is the Sanctuary Guardian. I wasn't too concerned with him, but his gust attack kept destroying my stamina. It wasn't until my last attempt where I didn't really even need this knowledge in order to kill him that I realized that I didn't need to shield the gust at all, as it did no damage, and I could just shield right after to block his charge. But oh well. If I had realized this on my first attempt, I would have first tried him, as it was that attack which led to my doom. At least the Sanctuary Guardian has the award for the shortest run back in the game. Thanks, bro. I go to retrieve my souls on the next attempt only to then be unable to properly target him as he's too far away, leading to me getting all mixed up and blasted by his lightning. Thankfully, the third attempt goes well and we take him down. Goodbye, Sanctuary Guardian. We head through the Royal Woods, saying hello to Calamite, grabbing this shortcut and facing off against the next boss. Now, before starting this run, there were 2 bosses that concerned me, especially considering the no rolling rule. One was Ornstein and Smo, the other, Artorias. He's fast, unparryable, and does a lot of damage. And indeed, I was right to be worried. This man made me so angry. Angrier than Ornstein and Smo made me, but only because he was so obviously beatable, but I just kept dying anyway. My shield blocks all his damage, but goddamn does it cost a lot of stamina, as well as my own attacks costing hefty amounts of stamina. Stamina was a bit of an issue here. The first attempt goes alright until he decides it's time to buff. I foolishly try to use heavy attacks to knock him out of it, but they're too slow, and he ends up buffing, then showing me the error of my ways by crushing me. This charge attack he does was the biggest problem. Sometimes I could move away from it and block it, but it did 2 hits, and the second always damaged me even if I had plenty of stamina and was holding up my shield. Another issue, as seen here, is when he does multiple slam dunks in a row. He'll either do 1, 2, or 3. 1 is perfect, 2 is manageable if my stamina is high, but 3 is quite troublesome. Here my stamina was low, as well as my health, and he did too. I completely nullified the first slam dunk, but as you can see it consumes a lot of stamina, and I did not have enough for the second slam dunk, which went through my shield killing me. If I could roll, this attack would be no issue at all, but as I can't, it was very troublesome. I get him down to half health on the third attempt, which told me that it was very doable, but ended up dying to the slam again. No problem, let's run it back. I decided to equip the Elite Knight armor for the poise, which was a fantastic idea because the charge would sometimes knock me down. During this fight, I'm basically just fishing for a moment where his large swings miss me to take 1 hit or heal, and keep my stamina as high as I can by not holding my shield up until right before he swings at me. I unfortunately failed to knock him out of his buff because I was drinking Estus and I pay the price shortly after. The 5th attempt ends rather quickly to his giant dive attack that destroys my stamina and my health. The 6th attempt goes well until my greed gets the best of me and he punishes me with an attack. I decide to kill some of these stupid pitchfork guys until I have enough souls to buy a green blossom from this merchant, which I use to keep my stamina very high during the 7th attempt. It helps a ton, allowing me to get away with heavy attacks that consume more stamina during openings, and now even 2 spinning jump attacks are easy to deal with. Unfortunately, it goes away way too quickly. Seriously, what's the point? I don't let that discourage me, and with him at low health, he kills me. I should not have tried to heal there, but I was desperate. But with determination in my heart, I go forward for the 8th attempt, and he's really low now, and then I fumble the controls a bit and don't block his attack fully and die. Oh my god, I actually got up and punched my bed, I was so pissed. I'm glad my mic wasn't on for this. I then decided to stop playing for the day and try again the next day as it was getting late. The next day I run in for the 9th attempt only to get destroyed by the triple slam dunk. I decide then to take a short trip to Blighttown, head to the tree, and grab the chlorantherine, which was a genius idea because on the very next attempt I destroy Artorias. Fuck you, Artorias, fuck you! I say hello to Calamite. I was going to Homeward Bone, but thought I could survive the first blast from him. But then I didn't and said fuck it, I ain't going back for those souls, and proceeded through the Ulasil township, grabbing the silver pendant and the crest key along the way. I make my way to the dark underground area, make sure to grab the shortcut, and head to Manus, Havel's shield in hand. After my frustration in the last video, this was a breath of fresh air. Manus is pretty much chump change in the face of Havel's beautiful shield and goes down with almost no trouble. Though he did start spamming magic at one point, which almost killed me. We talked to the giant and head to Calamite. He was a bit tough without rolling, but seemed very doable. I somehow survived this spam he did to me, but ended up dying when he grabbed me at low health anyway. I tried to run away from his breath and paid the price, so I decided to not use Havel's armor. The next attempt goes okay until I get blasted to the face, and then the next attempt I discover I can walk out of that attack while it's going off, and after that Calamite was done for, and he goes down with little issue. Also, I fought him in this cramped area, and when he did the turnaround flame attack after lunging, he'd be so close to me that I could just walk under him and not worry about it. Either way, all that's left is Gwyn, who he can parry, so this run is all but over. I use the remainder of my souls to grab a little extra dex for damage and head to Gwyn. I unfortunately roll when he tries to grab me and have to reset. The next attempt starts off with the amazing message that my weapon is at risk. Are you fucking kidding me? Murphy's Law, I swear to God. If my weapon wasn't on the verge of breaking, he would have died because I parried him really well, but unfortunately died when I failed to parry and he grabbed me. So I head to Andre, kill some undead for some souls, and repair my weapon, and he dies on the next attempt. Goodbye, stupid Gwyn, and goodbye, Nightmare Run. If there's anything this run taught me, it's that I never want to do a Dark Souls challenge where rolling is banned ever again. Thank you for watching, and I hope my suffering brought you some joy. Then at least, maybe it was worth it in the end. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.